Welcome to another episode of FightFest. In this episode, the finale of the Annihilator. For those who don't know, we started with 2 Annihilator groups, each with 5 deadly machines. Each round, 1 machine is eliminated from the tournament until they are left with the eventual winner. Those 2 winning machines then ballot out to be crowned the Annihilator champion. Last time we started out with the 2019 Annihilator champion Lunatic against Combustion, Telekinesis, Impact and Straddle. Unfortunately for Lunatic, they took an early exit and went out in the first round, quickly followed by Combustion. And in the other Annihilator, we started out with King of Bots Annihilator champion Neon going up against the likes of Euphoria, Light Fury, Explosion and Hoplite. Hoplite was the one that went out, and then in the second round, Neon. And after that, there was massive talk in the pits about how this competition was blown wide open with both past champions eliminated. In round 3, we have Straddle, Telekinesis and Impact. Impact has a very impressive flipper. I've seen it in the past. I hope they can get it working for this round. In the past, in 2017, it reached the top 16 in the UK, but going up against Telekinesis and Straddle, they're such fierce and destructive robots, it's now a battle for survival. Straddle, Telekinesis and Impact.
3, 2, 1, fight!
Straddle up to speed straight away, and Telekinesis looks to have its weapons fixed again, and that's a huge hit from Telekinesis, sending Straddle straight across the arena, almost out of the arena. Straddle dancing on one wheel, and Impact is taking damage off it, top Telekinesis. Telekinesis looking very strong here now that the weapons fixed again, and a dance, doing a bit of a gyro dance there, and Straddle looks to be a bit dazed in the arena. The wheels crumpled and Telekinesis is taking advantage from that there, and Impact trying to coax it around the arena, but Telekinesis' weapon seems to be down. Telekinesis' weapon's not working again. Straddle, was a huge uppercut on Impact, and Telekinesis taking a right on the chin, throwing Straddle backwards. Yeah, I do believe that Straddle is struggling for drive. The wheel looks a bit wonky. I think that big hits from Telekinesis early on in the fight did cause a lot of damage. Now Impact is trying to coax it to around the arena. And Telekinesis is just not wanting to get involved with Straddle after them big hits. Just as I say that, he drives straight in. And Impact just trying to coax Straddle around the arena with that big wedge and receiving another huge uppercut. Impact's driver's doing fantastically well, and just as I say that, he looks to be on his back and he's doing the thing. The wheels are turning, but there's a count happening.
5, 6,
and I do believe that Straddle and Telekinesis will be relieved after that fight. That was definitely up for Impact's win to win there.
Okay guys, so you've just unfortunately been knocked out of the Annihilator. Your robots seen better days. How did it go, guys?
Not too bad, far better than I expected. So I'm overall happy with the performance. You know, could have gone worse.
Now you lost your weapon in the first fight. I think you did very, very well to keep on going and keep fighting. You definitely kept going with really good spirit there, guys. Are you at least pleased with that?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, when the weapon went in the first fight, I thought there's no point in stopping it, so just kept going and made it through the first round and felt like I had to just keep pushing it. So it's repairable. It needs a bit of welding, but it looks worse than it is, which I know is a bit of a statement, but yeah.
Are you happy?
Yeah, no, I'm really happy with how Impact did. That was amazing.
Would you come back to FightFest?
I definitely would, yeah.
That's what we like to hear.
And going into this fight, you got Explosion, you got Euphoria, and you got Toothless. All 3 robots have fantastic drivers, so I can't really pick a top driver out of this. But Explosion, so much experience and all the titles you could ever think of listing. But the other guys have, Euphoria and Toothless all have got their own trophies, so I think this one really could be wide open.
Okay, start in 3, 2, 1, fight!
Here we go. Euphoria looking to take the middle of the arena and getting right under Toothless there. An explosion and doesn't really want to get involved in this fight. It's been very standoffish and been keeping it back to the back of the arena with a huge flip on Toothless. And Toothless now is on his back, and this could be the end as itself. Rider does not be working, and that is out of the arena. But it bounced back in. There is a count on Toothless, but I'm not sure Explosion's realising this, and he's making sure that he's out of the game. And that is Explosion and Euphoria through to the final. And now we're left with 4 machines. 2 machines from each Annihilator. The end is nearly here, but not quite yet. So let's pop over and see how Straddle and Telekinesis are feeling at this moment in time.
Okay, so we're here with Andy. Andy's probably the busiest man in the pits this weekend. He's running not only a...
It's not fun running 2 robots. I don't recommend it.
Do you not think you'll do this again? Go for the double team?
It is interesting. It keeps it interesting. If one goes out early, then it's okay.
I've noticed a couple of times the weapon on telly's gone down. Do we know what's causing that?
Different issues really. Some not explained yet, and some. We had a speed controller set on fire yesterday.
The smell is pretty strong on that.
But we'll. I'll do what I can, get it in, even if it's without a weapon, just to tank the hits and see if we can win that way.
And what about Straddle in the Annihilator?
Ooh, that's a tricky one to be honest. It is what it is. So yeah, he got a few hits off him last time. Luckily the robot's pretty tanky, so it takes a few hits. But yeah, for how long is it?
Got Tom in the background there that I can see over my shoulder. I think he's getting excited to this fight. We'll talk to him in a mo. Okay, so I'm here with Tom and Sarah from Team Monsoon. How is Straddle doing?
It's pretty good, to be honest. I think that was a nice noisy fight. I think for me the most damage is the plastic and the wheels really. It's another wheel written off I think, but we've got more and more legs, so I think we'll be good to go.
You've definitely got lots of wheels. You don't care if they get broken, do you? That's what they're there for.
Well, I am running out. I think with an Annihilator it's a war of attrition, and I am burning through my spares. But to be fair, electrically it's okay. I was still spinning at the end, I was still driving. I think the whole robot might be a little bit bananaed now, but it's fine.
So you don't think we might see another split in half?
Never say never.
I imagine you're not hoping for that though.
Probably not, no, probably not. But with a horizontal like telekinesis, you know, that's putting a lot of force into pulling it apart, so...
I believe the winner will go on to fight the winner of the other Annihilator. We're not there yet, but it should be good when we get there.
Andy Russell, the driver of Telekinesis, knows that Straddle hitting Telekinesis will do more damage to Straddle. So Tom will be hoping to win on aggression if it does go to judges, or wait for a lucky hit and hope that Telekinesis succumbs to its reliability, which has been hampered for the entire event. Okay, so this is Annihilator 1, round 4, between Tom and
3,
Andy.
2, 1, fight!
And Straddle's up to speed. He seems to have his gearbox fixed, but Telly's got his weapon down and it doesn't seem to be working. Straddle holding the middle of the arena, just hoping that Telekinesis drives straight for it, and that's a huge hit on Telekinesis. How on earth did it survive? It's back and it's going straight for Straddle again. But Straddle just driving back and forth over the top of Telekinesis. Telekinesis is so small and it can almost clear the weapon of Straddle, but Straddle looks to be getting slower and it's dancing around the middle of the arena. Telekinesis is trying its best to outdrive it. It's not the best shape of a robot to do a pushing match. Well, neither of these machines are really, but Telekinesis doing a bit of a spin on the spot, trying to deflect the weapon of Straddle. But Straddle bouncing over the top of Telekinesis, and there's little bits of damage on Telekinesis. This is underside as Andy Russell, the driver of Telekinesis, has decided to run it upside down. But we can see bits are coming off, and the weapon of Straddle is not slowing down. But oh, Telekinesis ever so slowly pushing Straddle to the pits there. And Straddle is slowing down a bit. It's not doing as best as what it was earlier on. Telekinesis, playing a bit of cat and mouse now with the pits. He's realised that Straddle's struggling with his drive, but Straddle's not playing that game. Straddle's happy to stay in the middle of the arena. He's done a lot of damage. and he will be playing with the judges and telling the judges that he's got the damage points done. And this is not what we're here to see. The crowd are not going to be happy with this. Straddle up on one wheel, and here we go. They're back at it in the middle of the arena.
1 minute remaining.
Telekinesis has got the 1 minute warning with organisers, but Telekinesis are back again playing cat and mouse this the arena, and Straddle has played this game before, and there's a huge hit on Telekinesis. They are determined to not go near the pit. They're the only one causing damage in this fight. Look at how bendy them wheels are. Straddle refuses to drive near the pit. You're not going to get this done. Telekinesis has been super aggressive, and if that weapon had been working, who knows what this fight would have turned out as. But this isn't what we wanted to see. We needed more aggression from Telekinesis. Telekinesis doing a bit of a handstand. We're in the last 10 seconds, and unless something extraordinary happens, Telekinesis and Straddle will go to the judges. And yeah, a bit of a head after the bell. Both drivers doing a bit of a spinning victory. That's just how it is. But yeah, it's gone to the judges, so let's see. I do believe they're having a look at both machines to see what damage has been done. But yeah.
Apparently, so aggression and tactics played a big part in the decision. The winner by split decision is Straddle.
And it's a split decision, and it's gone to Straddle. And now these two robots are a great matchup for each other. Explosion has won numerous titles over the years, but so has Euphoria. Euphoria has already taken out a former champion in Neon. Can it go one further?
Okay, so we're here with Isaac and Euphoria. You're in the final against the nasty Flipper Explosion. How are you feeling?
Honestly, pretty happy. I've been a fan of Michael and his robots for many years, watching them on TV, and it's the kind of thing I've always wanted to fight. You're not going to get too damaged, but he's just very well driven and he can send you very high. So I'm really excited to do it. I'm also very lucky to be here though, because I went into the last round, got it all set up, it's happy to go. I knocked one button on my transmitter and that turned the weapon off. So if he did flip me over, I would have been instantly eliminated. But that's not going to happen again. He didn't flip me because he didn't know that I was broken. We did get to have a few head-on clashes with Explosion in that last fight before I realised I had no weapon. And I was underneath it there, but I can probably see him sharpening right now. He'll be getting ready.
I think that's going to be the key, ladies and gentlemen. That it's all going to be about who can get under who. So it's a battle for the ground here at FightFest. Okay, so we're here with Michael and Adrian. How have you found it so far, Mike?
Explosion's gone really well, so we got away with it with Neon in round 2. It's just caught a bit of the HGP up there, but if that's the only damage you take from Neon, you're doing pretty well. So yeah, it's through to the final. It's against another flippy lifty thing, so it's all about getting the ground game, making sure you get underneath it and getting the big flips in. Yeah, so far looking good.
Both maybe weren't optimised for each other, so we might see a few changes for the final, perhaps some really low ground scraping wedges. Do you think that's going to be the key, the battle for the ground?
Yeah, exactly. So this is the really low ground scraping wedge. We had it on the last round as well. So before that we had the anti-horizontal one on because Neon's obviously the big threat in there when that's in the arena. But now I've got it really close to the ground with magnets on it, so hopefully should be getting underneath them and ideally get them out of the arena.
That sounds fantastic. We look forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you.
There is Michael and his father with Explosion. And look at that beautiful beard that Isaac's wearing. Definitely too deadly for the arena.
Judges, are you ready?
The winner takes on Straddle in the final.
3, 2, 1, fight!
Explosion coming forward. Euphoria got caught under, but it tries to drive under. And Euphoria has been ejected almost straight away in this fight. And Explosion marches on into the final.
FightFest Winter Challenge is sponsored by Team Immersion Engineering and Wranglebox.
If you need high quality bespoke designs for your robot on the inside and out, get in touch with Team Immersion, we'll see what we can do. And if you need the parts to go inside the robot, all of the top of the range motors, speed controllers and everything else can be found at wranglebox.com. These two sponsors pave the way to success for all your engineering and fighting robot needs, so hit them up if you're interested, and thanks to them again for sponsoring.
And now we have the third place playoff between the two losers of each Annihilator. We have Telekinesis versus Euphoria.
Loaded into the arena now are Telekinesis and Euphoria for the third place Annihilator playoff. Yes, there is a third place Annihilator trophy which these two are competing for. Are the drivers ready? So we'll begin the fight in 3, 2, 1, fight!
Here we are, Telekinesis going forward, but unfortunately that weapon doesn't seem to be working, and it's a bit of a back and forth. There's not much contact happening, and Telekinesis just seems to be riding up the wedge of Euphoria. Doesn't seem to be much happening here. Telekinesis just seems to try and get out of the way and try and force Euphoria into driving into the pit. This is Euphoria, and that was a good left there, but it looks as if the front forks have broken on Euphoria, because it just seemed to do a bit of a wheelie there. But Euphoria again underneath Telekinesis is super easy to get under there. Maybe Andy should have run the machine the correct way up to help negate that there. But it just plays into the hands of Euphoria of driving up that wedge. Euphoria been pretty aggressive here, definitely gaining points with the judges. Telekinesis is just trying to get Euphoria into the pit by driving area. Oh, and Telekinesis has done himself in.
Andy has driven into the pit.
And that is the end of that.
Telekinesis is eliminated, so your third place for the second FightFest in a row is Euphoria.
And you can see that it's doing a bit of a wheelie there.
A bit difficult to try and capture Andy, but you didn't need to in the end, did you?
No, he's squirrely. My only real goal, knowing that the spinner was off, was I wanted to try and get him out of the arena, and that's precisely where he didn't go. He went below the arena instead. I couldn't even see the pit from where I was stood, so really, his strategy was entirely possible. I could have driven down there, but he just kind of disappeared. I wasn't even looking. But cheers, Andy. Appreciate it.
So congratulations to Euphoria and Isaac for picking up third place at FightFest. But the news from the pits is that Straddle still isn't fixed yet and has been given a courtesy 20 minutes to repair, otherwise it will be forced to forfeit the match. But while we're waiting, if you would like to compete or volunteer with FightFest or apply to Labman Automation for an internship, then head over to Facebook or Instagram and like our page to keep up with what's going on. If you want to see more episodes of FightFest, please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe, and keep fighting robots on our screens. And there we can now see Straddle has finally made its way to the arena. It is very late. We can see Explosion being armed up by Michael. Got a new flipper arm on there, trying to deflect some of Straddle's big hits. Will it be enough?
This is the Annihilator Grand Final. In the far corner we have Explosion. Woo! In stealth mode. And opposite him we have Straddle. Round of applause. These robots have come through quite a few fights to get here. So, drivers, are you ready? Judges, are you ready? Excellent. So, we'll begin the final in 3, 2, 1, fight!
Can that new flipper arm of Explosion hold up to the mighty weapon that is Straddle? There's a huge hit straight away, but it's holding up, and it does look as if it's doing quite well, but Straddle's weapon is so supreme. It's up to speed so fast and dishing out the hits straight away. Straddle just trying to hold the middle ground, but it has been pushed around by Explosion, but Straddle pushing Explosion back with those big hits. And it's a matter of a huge hit there, and another huge hit.
Oh.
And that looks as if Explosion's out.
1, 2,
and it is
3, 4, 5, 6.
We're not sure what's happened. Something's rattled loose with all those big hits.
10. Straddle is the winner. Your Annihilator champion.
And there's Tom celebrating. This is his first competition win with Straddle, and he'll be over the moon with that. Congratulations. And there we are, both captains now shaking hands. Well done to Michael and Explosion for second place, but unfortunately there can only be one winner. And there you can see the top 3 finishers: Straddle, Explosion and Euphoria. What a final. Congratulations to all.
Cheers, JP. In the next episode of the Battle of the Isles finals, it's Scotland, England and Ireland facing off. The legend from Dublin, Team Mechatrons and Minitour will be there against Renegade from Scotland, made by Jamie McHarg. Representing England in the other semi-final, we have Amnesia taking on close friend and deadlier rival Rachel Gibson, and Carcinus representing Scotland. We've even got a little grudge match for you. See you next time on FightFest.